You know what this is already, man. This is the check-in. We do this shit every Sunday at 8:30. You know what I'm saying? And if you know what the check-in is, then you know what the check-in is. It's exactly that. It's a check-in. You know what I'm saying? If you having problems, if you you know things ain't going right, you definitely got some ears that will listen. You definitely got some people that been down the road before that could possibly help you in some fashion. You know what I'm saying? And we may not all have the fucking answers and shit, but we might have something, you know, maybe, or maybe you just need somebody to talk to. Maybe you had a tough day. You just need to vent, get some shit off your chest. You know what I'm saying? I be feeling like that sometimes. Matter of fact, a lot of times motherfuckers will talk to me and all I'll do is talk about shit that's been bothering me all day and they didn't even get a chance to say hi.
It'd be like that sometimes.
Yeah, it'd be like that. Yeah. Like that. By the way, anyways, one more time, this is the check-in. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, all that shit. It's on
share.
You can see it on the ticker down at the bottom right there. I am your boy, Heat Detective. We got a couple of people in the building right now. Go ahead and introduce yourself, sir.
This is your boy, DJ Protocol.
All right, that's it.
That's DJ Protocol. DJ Protocol in the building.
Right, we got somebody else back behind the scenes, man. You want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, it's your boy Tone, man.
Oh, that sounded real gangster. You want to take that channel mic 3 and turn it up some. Yeah. All right, so excuse me. Again, you know what this is. I see D is in the building, but you got your camera off and everything. I can't throw you in the stream. Your mic's off, your camera's off, everything's off. Waiting on my co-host, my other co-host to hop in, but in the meantime, we're just gonna go ahead and get this shit started. I got some shit that I need to get off my chest.
Let's get it.
Shit that's been bothering me, man. You know, I don't know. Some of y'all may have in-laws and shit, you know, and you know, everybody. There's like that old saying, you know, every dude like hates their mother-in-law or something. You know what I mean? Or the mother-in-law hates the dude or some shit like that.
It's always the in-law, no matter what.
I don't know if that's a real saying.
Yeah, turn your mic up a little bit because we still can't hear you that well. You're on channel 3.
Can you hear me now?
You're on the right track. Keep going.
Hold on, let me.
Yeah. I want to give it up to Boston Celtics taking a 3-1 lead in the series. Really got nothing to do with nothing, but just give you guys an update on that. Got the unwrapped shirts, the podcast, another Heat Detective production. We good over there?
Yeah, we good. Yeah, I think we're good now.
So anyway, as I was saying, you know, and it always don't work out. You know, sometimes it does. I honestly have a great relationship with my mother-in-law, but it wasn't always like that. You know, I was hated. I was truly hated, but for a lot of reasons. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't right. I wasn't right in a lot of things I was doing, but you know,
I think that's part of it. Accepting it, right? You gotta accept it. You gotta accept.
But then also too, you know, as a man, I have to take accountability and responsibility for my own actions. That's why motherfuckers didn't like me, because, you know, sometimes it's not just because you got a smart mouth or something. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's because you do fucked up shit and you don't take accountability for it. And I had to take accountability for a lot of shit. So it is what it is. And you know, when you do that, people, they see it.
Oh, yes.
They see it and they go,
vulnerable.
Okay.
He's vulnerable now.
Yeah, maybe he ain't such a piece of shit.
Exactly.
Right.
Or maybe he is.
Or maybe he is. Maybe it's all a game. Maybe it's all, you know, but the fact of the matter is you could be in a household with someone. This is kind of my point. You can be in a household with somebody that is supposedly, allegedly loves you or says they care about you or whatever, but underneath their breath and underneath everything, they fucking despise you. And not only that, they wish bad things upon you, and you don't know it, and you wouldn't
until
know
you
it.
know it. Until you know it.
You don't know it until you fucking know it. And that's the bad thing.
So what do you do when you know it then? You know, that's the question.
The hardest part is to bite the bullet on a daily basis, because when that person is treating you like shit on a daily basis, some underhandedly treating you like shit. Now I'm just venting.
I feel you.
You know what I'm saying? You know, because it happens to everybody, and you know, and sometimes I get so frustrated, I be wanting to just jap the fuck out.
There's no need for this,
right? Yeah, there is no need for this shit. Like, okay, you hate me, cool. Stay the fuck out of my. We both got to live under this roof, you know. Just kind of stay the fuck out of my way. I'll stay the fuck out of your way. But the underhanded shit still doesn't need to happen.
That's
But it
the
happens.
part. That's
So
the
this
part.
this is something that you're dealing with.
It's I mean it's not just me.
It's
I already stated. I already stated that it was me. But what I'm saying
it's an in-house situation.
listen, what I'm saying is that this happens to everyone. I'm not privy to this shit.
Yeah,
I'm not the only motherfucker on the planet that has to go. It doesn't even have to be an in-law. It could be your motherfucking sister, your blood sister.
Exactly.
Yeah, family.
It could be a family member.
Family,
It could be your best motherfucking homie. That the whole time you don't even know this nigga hates your fucking guts. But why? Even still, then why is he right in front of you?
When the truth on the inside comes right out,
like smiling in your face and shit. And again, this is just me venting about shit.
Yeah,
I'm vulnerable too. I'm a human being. I have feelings. I have emotions. I talk my shit.
That's 100.
But at the same time, nobody likes to be trampled on. You know what I mean? Maybe it's karma for all the years of me trampling on motherfuckers and not giving a fuck. Who knows?
I think the important part is recognizing it, and then what do you do after you recognize it?
Well, that's
like what's the next step? So what's the next step?
We know what the issue is.
How do we resolve this?
Yeah, there you go. Resolution.
Shit.
Are you a solution based person? Do you?
Of course, 100%. Always.
So that's right now. He's just pointing out the problem.
Yeah, no.
Addressing it basically.
I'm venting. You know what I mean? Because it's frustrating for me. You know what I'm saying? And again, that's what this whole show is about. Like, if you have things that are bothering you, instead of me going and saying, you know what, fuck this shit. Next time the motherfucker say something, I'm smacking the shit out of him. Exactly. Well, that's not going to solve any fucking problem.
Definitely not.
You know what I'm saying?
It might.
No,
but you can express how you feel about that.
It'll add. It'll add.
Well, sometimes it does solve the problem.
See, that's
but you have the right to express yourself.
Some people do.
That's why I'm following you. You have the right to express yourself, even though you feel that way.
Hey, look, man, here's the bottom line. And this goes out to a lot of young dudes too, man. Hey, D, if you go hop in, bro. It's like that you get that moment where you either gonna do something about it, like that's the thought.
There you go. Yeah.
The thought, right? Like, ooh, if I don't do something about this right now, let's say a motherfucker bump into you or whatever, and then he turns around. Now he's mad at you, but he bumped into you.
Exactly.
Now he's calling you a bitch. Now
you don't want this to grow, in other words.
Right. Yeah. Well, you got choices.
Exactly. Decisions.
You can respond. Ignorance begots ignorance. So you're gonna be ignorant with him. He's gonna be ignorant with you. You're gonna be ignorant back, and then what's gonna lead to?
Nothing.
Right. Nothing. I'm just saying. But we have choices.
Exactly.
Yeah, I got a choice. I can go up there and wait for this motherfucker to do something and then smack the shit out of him. But does that? It doesn't solve anything for me. You know what I'm saying? And even in that moment, what kind of gratification am I gonna get out of it? None.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Where are you trying to move with this? That's ideal. Regardless his behavior or anything. Where you want to go.
How I move is up to me.
You already got the data. The data came in already.
Well, I'm just saying though.
Yeah, I feel
that's accountability as well. You know what I'm saying? I got to be accountable for my own actions.
Yeah, with yourself first.
Yeah, I'm not responsible. See, this is the other thing.
There you go.
This is the other thing to this that a lot of people don't understand. And this is also in relationships. A motherfucker's quick to point a finger.
All day.
It's because of you that I'm like this. It ain't never because of me. Because you know what is 100% true and real? I am never responsible for your behaviors or your actions.
100%.
Because I can say something and I can be whatever in the fuck. But how you respond and how you behave,
on me.
That's on you.
You don't control me like that.
I can't make you mad.
Exactly.
You know
I choose to be mad.
You choose to be mad. And people don't understand being mad.
Very true.
Takes that long.
Yeah.
When you let it fester and you keep on being mad about the shit.
Shots fired, you recognize it, and you say you got a choice.
Man, you got to keep it pushing, man.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just saying, man. Maybe the show getting off on the wrong foot. Maybe you know what I'm saying. But that's what the show is all about.
So are you saying you can't influence someone's behavior?
He's venting right now. He's venting right now.
No.
You're not. You can't
no.
Controlling somebody and influence is different. It's two different things.
No one's. He didn't say nothing about control.
No. I'm not in charge. I'm not in charge of your behavior. So I could say, you know what? But fuck you. I could say, fuck you, Tone. Get the fuck now. However you choose to behave after I say that, that's on you.
Bring you a glass of water. Here you go.
That's on you. You know what I'm saying? I am not in charge of your behavior, no matter what I say or what I do to you. I am not in charge, and that's a fact. That is a 100% psychological fucking fact. I'm not in charge of your behavior.
It's a psychological fact.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm not in charge of Tone.
You're not. You're right.
I'm not in charge of how Tone walks.
But you can provoke.
I can't.
But
You
you can't
only
provoke
if you
me.
allow yourself to be provoked.
No,
Yeah.
it's a fact. You can provoke someone.
No,
Triggers,
if
people
you
got
allow,
someone to
if you
anger.
People got
allow,
triggers.
You
be
can
it, be,
provoke someone to
get
anger.
the fuck. See, that's that pussy shit that motherfuckers are pushing upon people.
You can provoke someone to
Okay.
anger. If you're pressing my buttons intentionally, knowing that you're gonna get a rise out of me, that's a provocation.
No,
That's a provoking. That's behavior.
that's
Your
ignorant.
behavior
No,
is
what
provoking.
he is saying is he just blurring out stuff.
no.
Yeah, well,
I'm right where he is,
Okay.
where he's talking. That's where my focus is right now,
All
because that's just not the way things work. Pushing my buttons, Nikki. You are not a piece of machinery. You have no buttons.
So you're saying
You have no
okay,
buttons.
We all know
Does he
that.
go
We
right
all,
there? Okay,
we all
let's
know
start-
that. That's
Let's start right there.
We all
Let's
know
start-
that.
okay, well, let's
that's like
start
a
right there.
metaphor.
Well, then let's start
We all
right
know
there.
that pushing buttons is a metaphor
Okay,
for getting
but-
someone, provoking someone.
Okay,
So
you said push your buttons.
Okay, pushing buttons is also could be used as provoking. You're provoking me,
How?
which means
Well,
you're.
he said
you know
he's
what I'm
not responsible for whatever
saying? Actions I take after
Yeah.
you provoke me. I
He's-
understand that, but what I'm saying is you can still have influence over someone's
I
behavior.
never. No, you
You can
can't.
cause. You don't think you could be the cause of someone's reaction?
No, I'm not in
How
charge of the
not?
reaction.
How not?
I-
If you
Tone.
How
On
could you not
some
be the-
real shit. I'm glad we got somebody else in the
Can
building.
we keep it moving?
Yeah, no. I'm glad we got
This is
somebody else in the
getting good
building
right here.
because
What up, Tone?
hey,
this
look.
is all right, baby.
No, listen,
Check in,
on some
tap
real shit.
in. You already
Hold
know.
Okay, wait.
My man.
No. I'm not. We're talking something.
All right.
But
we're
on the
topic.
truth of the matter is, I can say whatever in the fuck I want. I am not in charge of how you respond, how you behave after I say it, or whatever in the fuck you do.
I understand that.
Okay,
I get
so
that. I
even
get
if I
that.
provoke you,
Yeah.
Yeah,
how you
understand.
take it and how you respond is on you.
It's under the
Yes.
same thing. Under
Yes,
the same thing.
some
It's the
people-
same
some-
shit.
Yes,
Yeah.
I understand that, but some people react differently.
Yeah,
you know?
some people do.
Now, that's
But-
different.
and that's what
But-
I'm saying.
But you could be the cause to someone's
Never.
reaction. To someone's reaction. Yes.
Never the cause.
To every cause.
Never the
there's a
Gizzo in
cause.
the
reaction.
building.
To
Never
We
every
the
got
cause.
Gizzo.
To every
Gizzo's
cause
in the
is a
building.
reaction.
Gizzo.
Yo, what up,
What's
man?
up, Baba?
Hey man, you want to chime in on because I can't stand what I'm being
What
told
up,
right now.
Gizzo in the building?
What's up, man? You know, in the end, in the end, bro, every man is responsible for whatever it is the fuck that he does. But you know, like they always say in the hood, bro, you could do some more dumbass shit to make your final day come a lot quicker.
Yeah.
I'm okay, but still,
It's to every
you
cause.
ain't in charge
to
of that
every cause
motherfucker
there's a
who
reaction.
did.
You're responsible for yourself.
Yeah, I'm
That's
responsible.
it.
Now, if I'm goofy enough to do that shit,
Gizzo.
Jizzle, my bad, Jizzle. I always forget your name. Jizzle, look, if this is basically saying to every cause is a reaction. If I blatantly disrespect you, you're gonna react, right?
That's under the
You're gonna
same-
react.
that's
You're
under
gonna
the same
thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
you can check yourself.
No, you don't have to react. You don't have to react. That's what the
He's in
5
the
second
building.
rule that's what the 5 second rule that we talk about on this show all the time is about. You don't have to fucking react. You could react if you was raised a certain way and you got this fucking ego that you need to feed, then you might just react. But if you're using that 5 second rule, you think about the shit I'm about to do, I could either slap the shit out of you and go to jail, or I could just walk away from you and continue about my day.
You wouldn't say something. You wouldn't say something back to the person. Yeah, somebody's disrespecting.
Dude, we're talking about situations.
Hey, check this out though. You know how you win the fight? You can win the fight before ever fighting, bro. That's the best way to win the fight. Is before that shit ever gets to that, because a lot of the times it's not that I'm worried about what you're gonna do to me. I'm worried about what I'm gonna do to you. You know, and so just to avoid all that shit, it's just like, you know, but yeah, a lot of motherfuckers will react depending on how you raised and where you're from. Yeah, you fucking right. If somebody steps on your shoes, we talked about this on the show last time. Dude stepped on my shoes. I stepped on dude's shoes and he looked up at me like he was ready to fight. And instead of act like I was ready to fight, I fucking smiled and I stuck my hand out and I shook dude's hand and introduced myself. And the motherfucker wouldn't get away from me all night. He was my best friend for the rest of the night. You know, so it's just
yeah, for sure.
Word.
So you choose how your interactions are gonna go.
yeah, that's like me. If I'd be a fucking idiot if I'm knowing that I might meet my maker if I say this to protocol, so to speak. And I know if I say, man, because if I've already known how this nigga reacts and responds, and I say, man, go fuck yourself, you bitch. And that's your shit. You don't like being called a bitch.
The trigger.
Well, now part of that shit's my fault. I should know better. You know what I mean? I don't. First of all, I don't address.
But I still have the choice to do it.
But at the end, you still have the choice.
We are in a culture. In that culture too.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean you have to. Man, come on now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Come on now.
That's part of being a man. Don't make no excuses for your action.
Yeah.
Oh, he said this. That's why I did it. Hey, that's not a man. Not a man.
Yo, D, you in the building?
Yo, can you hear me now?
Yeah. What you think about we talking about, man?
First of all, you got a dope. That's a dope discussion, dog. Straight up, I'm definitely gonna be tuned in there a week, bro, because it's real shit. And you know,
Yeah.
my man made a good point. A lot of determination on how a person to act depends on how they was raised, where they from, type shit. But that's what's been having a lot of us just to crash out, dog, and just throw our life down the drain. You know what I'm saying? Just thinking like, let this motherfucker. You really giving your power away. If a motherfucker
Right.
talk
There
to
you
you
go,
and take
exactly.
your
Give
power away, then you the fool all day long. in
All
my
day.
opinion.
Yeah. You see, but it's like he said, well, Tone had said, well, what if you provoke me? Man, I could say whatever I
Still got a
want.
choice.
Your
Still got a
perception
choice.
is a motherfucker. So even if let's just throw this out there for discussion right quick, right? When we talk about perception, right? Maybe, just maybe that's how I greet a motherfucker, right? What's up, bitch? Right? His perception is, oh, this nigga just insulted me. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
I'm just saying
Well,
perception, because how you perceive something
no,
and how I
yeah,
perceive it
and
are completely different.
That's true. That's true. But what I'm saying is, in this culture, this word that bitch word is slung around. So
I was using that as a catalyst.
Yeah, for sure. Because I'm about to address that. I do this all the time. I got guys at my job. You know, they're comfortable using that word, and then when they use it with me, I respectfully tell them, hey, I don't ever use that word with you, so please don't use that with me.
Okay, but that's your perception. Your perception
it's not a perception. It's just
it is perception.
I'm not going to be willing. I'm not going to just because it's okay. That's okay. I'm not going to accept that. I'm a man. And there's standards that you live by. You know?
Understand this though. That's your perception. That word means you're less than a man. That's your perception.
No, it's not a perception. It's a respect thing.
Okay, so that's still your perception.
You know, that's a respect.
Because to me, bitch actually just means a fucking pregnant female dog.
Boogie.
You know what I'm saying?
But that's how we use it.
Okay, but it's perception. How you hear it, how you see it. You know what I'm saying? Like I could say shit because there's a lot of times I'll say somebody or people.
No one gets called a bitch and says, "Oh, he's just calling me a female pregnant dog."
Bro, I also said I was just using that as a catalyst. I didn't say that was the point I was trying to make. I didn't say that.
But you also know who to say that shit to, because like you said, you got a couple people that you know, but you know it's that one dude that you're not gonna fucking play with him like that because you already know, and that's your perception of him how he's about to take this shit.
That's my point.
There you go.
That's my point, because I get it a lot of times. People see me, like our neighbors, they see me walking or getting out of my car and everything, and they tell my daughter, like, God damn, your dad looks mean as fuck. It's like nobody wants to say hi to him because he looks so fucking mean. That's their perception. No, I'm serious. That's their perception of me.
Yeah, for sure.
Because that's not. I'm having a great day. I'm getting out of the car. You know what I'm saying? I'll wave at them up.
You could be having a great fucking day. And somebody told that to me too. I said, what was your first perception of me when you saw me? And when they saw me, I had been drinking, and they was like, man, you look like you were about some fucking problems. And I really wasn't. It was like my birthday that day, and I was having a great fucking time. So it was like, motherfuckers will perceive shit a certain way.
Yeah, that's all.
Check this out. Back to that word. I was with two friends. We use the word, when we say a joke about each other, look at your bitch ass. Look at your bitch ass. Our other friend wasn't familiar with that term. And we said it in front of him, and he like, hey, what the fuck are you guys talking to? Who you calling a bitch? He wasn't familiar. You know what I'm saying? Perception.
Yeah, it's perception.
It's perception. You know what I'm saying? Our perception of bitch ass was like riding on each other. His perception was not that.
Yeah.
And he let it be known. Hey, man, what the fuck's going on? Who you guys?
But then again, and so this goes back to behavior and shit. Who's in charge of that? His response and his action, his actions towards what you guys were talking about is on him. That's not provoking him. That's not none of that shit. All that shit belongs to him. And this goes back to men taking accountability for their actions. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like a mother, you see motherfuckers doing all this, what they call gangster ass shit in the streets. See how gangster these niggas are when they get in front of a fucking judge.
All day.
You don't want to be accountable now. Now you're crying for your fucking mom. You wasn't crying when you was out there making that dumbass decision, right? You wasn't crying when, you know what I'm saying, when you was doing it, whatever the fuck, behaving like a fucking animal. Yo, I'm just saying, man. I'm gonna shut the fuck up. Let somebody else talk, man.
Yeah.
Come on, D, man. Chime in, bro.
Next topic.
I mean, that is a topic because it happens to all of us all the fucking time.
It's all perception, man. It's all perception.
I mean, but it
only it's real shit though. But perception is really reality. That's why everybody's reality looks different. My only thing is this: if we was just to stop and think for a second, right?
Yeah.
And if we try to do something different, you know, you see your buddies, your homies doing the same shit, crashing out and not goddamn it meeting the motherfucking right end to the scenario, right? Why would you continue following the footsteps, even though it's a dead end street? If we just think about it for a second, that's why it makes so much sense, bro, when you say how you take certain shit, bro, depends on how the fuck you react. You can't give your power away to nobody, man.
No, absolutely not.
Nobody.
Absolutely not.
If somebody can literally get a reaction out of you by simply talking to you, they're a strong motherfucker.
Yeah. Real talk.
Yeah. Then people will do that shit. People will do that shit to you. Prime example, last night we were talking about the Davis and the Garcia fight. And I don't know if y'all noticed, and I don't really follow Davis like that, but he was fighting Garcia with a fucking smirk on his face. And I was telling my guy, that's some mental shit, boy. He's standing in front of him, boxing you, and he's fucking smirking. And I know that got to Riot. I know that got to his head. You know what I'm saying? So he let him get in his feels over a fucking smirk.
Yeah, well, it happens. It happens to a lot of us in private and fucking in public. You know what I'm saying? You like I was saying, like I got choice. I go upstairs and smack the shit out of somebody.
For
but
what?
then again,
For what?
That's giving away my power. Because not only that, it's the repercussions of doing
Even though
some
you
shit
got
like
the
that.
right, though. Even though you got the right.
I don't have the right.
But that's
what?
the easiest way. That's the easiest way to you know what I'm saying? That's easy.
That doesn't give me a right to do anything.
I know.
That's
And
easy.
it doesn't give you a right to do shit.
I agree with that.
You know what I'm saying?
I agree with that.
You can be pissed off at the fucking world. It doesn't give you a right to go be a mass shooter. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
You can be mad at I can be mad at you for whatever in the fuck, but it doesn't give me the right to shoot you.
Exactly.
Doesn't give me a right to whoop your ass. Doesn't give me a right to throw a drink in your face. Doesn't give me a right to do shit to you.
Nothing.
You know what rights I got? Deal with it, shut the fuck up, or talk to you as a fucking man and resolve the issue.
Exactly, resolve.
Whatever the issue is.
Resolution all day.
You know what I'm saying? But
you know what I think though, bro?
It takes a lot for people to like resolve shit or apologize shit. A couple years ago,
pride.
You know, yeah, no, I just had a dude that we just had like this sort of like, you know, this conflict within music and shit for like a couple of years. And every time that we clashed, it was because he was drinking. And after I found out he stopped drinking, because he came up to me at Sub T one day and was like, "Hey, B, I just want to apologize for everything that we ever been through, man. I've been drinking for a couple of years and I wasn't in the right state of mind. And I'm coming to you as a man to apologize." And we cleared that shit up from that moment. But, you know, imagine what it took him to walk around to people and tell them he fucked up, you know?
Right. And that's a tough pill to swallow, because a lot of motherfuckers don't want to swallow that shit. They don't want to do it.
No.
They
don't. And you live your life just not knowing what you did, man. I used to shoot videos with this dude, and he was a little bit older, but he was like, man, he said, "I don't know who's out here looking for me." He said, "because I spent so many years on the street being drunk out of my fucking mind." He goes, "I don't know who I did shit to."
Oh, that's
you know,
bad.
and he was constantly walking around not knowing who was about to get his ass because he just had a fucked up life and didn't know who he hurt.
That's
but that wake up call came for him at like 50 years old, you know. So for anybody watching the fucking show, don't let you be 50 years old and then come to that realization that you done threw away a big piece of your shit.
And that's the other thing I wanted to talk about tonight. Is a thought that I had last night about a thought process. You know, don't let your actions in the past predict your future. You know what I'm saying? Don't let the things that you've done in your past hound you to death. You know what I'm saying? The worst thing in the world is to be a coward. And when I say coward, don't jump to any conclusions, because I'm not talking about the physical prowess. I'm talking about a coward is a person that won't stand up for himself here. Mentally. You know what I'm saying? Mentally. Like if I'm allowing people to constantly walk on me, that's cowardly. I should be able to stand up for myself. I should be able to talk to somebody and go to somebody and say, "Hey, I don't appreciate this." Or being a coward is also, if I have beef with you the whole time, I really don't have beef with you, and I really want to go to you and say, "Hey, man, I apologize," and I don't do it, is cowardly.
All day.
It's cowardly. This has nothing to do with physical prowess. This has to do with everything in here. Everything in here. What do they say? A coward dies 1,000 deaths a day.
Hey,
You know what I'm saying?
Tupac.
Because you gotta sit there and look at this motherfucker, and you know you don't want beef with him, or you know you want to apologize, or you know you want to do shit, but you don't.
You're defeated mentally.
Yeah.
You just made a point though, dog. The only thing that matters is what the fuck you think about yourself, man.
Yeah.
That
Who
comes
cares
first.
what anybody
After
else
that,
thinks? Who really cares? Who cares?
Yeah. I mean, a
Straight
motherfucker
up.
could look at me all day long and say what the fuck they want. I could care less, because you know what?
Just don't touch me.
Got it.
Period.
Yeah. Well, that part. Now, I will say on a physical note, I will not allow another motherfucker to put his hands on me and do no shit like that. I'm going to defend myself, but I'm not going to go out looking for no fucking fights. I'm not going to go out
be
and
a
do
bully.
I'm not bullying nobody. I'm not going to do none of that type of shit. But then again, I'm also not putting myself in any of those situations. You know what I'm saying?
Be aware.
I'm not just being aware, but
yeah,
I'm just not going to put myself in any situations. If I see my man's is not feeling me or not vibing with me, I may go up and say, "We all right? We good?" You know what I'm saying? Because maybe I don't know him. Maybe I don't know what the fuck. Or maybe I'll just take myself out the situation.
You know what's funny about that, dog? I had 2 people approach me under that type of act. You know what I'm saying? Because my demeanor is just been strong since a kid.
Right.
You know, I look like I'm mad at the world, but like y'all said, happy than a motherfucker. But that's just my demeanor.
Right.
And a lot of people don't know how to take it. You know what I'm saying? And I had people to approach like, man, you straight, you know me from somewhere type shit. Because they into it with so many motherfuckers. They don't know who the fuck they, you know what I'm saying? Bro, I don't know you.
Smoke a little
I'm
weed
on
on
my
top
way
of that,
to
you
you.
start looking like the other guy.
Right.
Real shit though.
Yeah, I mean it happens. You know what I'm saying? But you didn't take it to another level or anything like that, because right then and there you had a choice. You could have said, "What the fuck, nigga?" You know what I mean? What you walking up on me for? I don't know you.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And it could escalate. It could turn into something completely different. But you know, we can't let.
But speaking, sorry to cut you off, but speaking, man, I'll go into it real quick. What I said I was going to talk about, but I just been kind of listening to y'all talking about be aware and stay on point and shit like that. And we've always talked about the violence on the show, man. But I just want to give like a personal experience, man. From we were at a show a while back, and the show was over, and I'm standing on the corner, and dude jumps out of a car with a pistol in his hand, yelling somebody else's name that he was looking for, and ran right towards me. And I probably ain't gonna lie, was on my fucking phone. I wasn't paying attention, because from the time he got out the car to the moment he was standing in front of me was like 2 fucking seconds. And being from Chicago, I already know this dumbass shit about standing on a fucking corner. And there I was, because the bar was on the corner. So I was standing on the fucking corner. And I almost got my ass fucking shot, and other people almost got shot. And it was one of those things, thank God nothing happened. But, stay on point, stay aware. Remember this shit that you know already. Don't stand in the fucking corner. Don't sit in a fucking car. When somebody says, "Hey, yo, check it out," don't check it out. All that shit. And like, I had a feeling about the night just from the beginning too. So trust that fucking instinct, man. If some shit ain't right, walk away from that shit. Keep it moving, And a lot of people will be like, "Oh, I'll run towards this shit." Nah. You run away from the shit, and then you come back and see what you know what I'm saying? Like you can't lose your life over a stupid ass decision, because what if I would have went towards where the shooter ended up at? Who knows what would have happened? But yeah, man, just stay on point. That's all I wanted to say, was just basically stay on point and make sure and you never know. You literally never fucking know.
Truth is, you can't help nobody dead. So let's be clear. You know what I'm saying? You can't help anybody if you're laying on the ground bleeding to death. You know what I'm saying? And it doesn't make anybody a coward by running, man. It's called self-preservation, my guy. You know what I'm saying? God or whoever your higher power is put it in all of us. You can't choke yourself to death. You know what I'm saying? It takes a lot to commit suicide. By the way, I don't condone suicide. If you have a problem with suicide, hit a suicide prevention line.
Hotline.
Or check in with us on a Sunday, man, and let us talk to you. But self-preservation is a motherfucker. Everybody has it. You know what I'm saying? You hear gunshots, your first instinct. You ain't gonna real motherfuckers ain't gonna run to the fucking, to the flame. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't finna do that shit. That's like I said, you cannot choke yourself. You cannot drown yourself. You know what I'm saying? Self-preservation, you're gonna be trying to get up out that fucking water. You know what I'm saying?
Also, I think a lot of us in Chicago, and I'm sure a lot of other inner cities throughout the country, we're like so like cold to this shit, man, that like, when dude jumped out and was running up, like I didn't fucking flinch or move at that moment. It was kind of like, you know, and neither did it was about 5, 6 other people in front of the fucking thing. And no one really was like super shocked that he did. It was just more like, what the fuck, you know?
Right.
And once he ran into where he was going into the venue, then everyone kind of like took off, you know, after. But like, we're just so cold to this shit. Have you ever see videos of like shootings happening in the hood and motherfuckers are just walking and shit's like blah, blah, blah. And they're just like fucking strolling and shit. Like we're just fucking used to this shit.
Yeah. Shout out to E. Johnson's in the building, man. What up? What up? He says, yeah. What's happening, man? Thank you for coming in, bro. Thank you for checking out the show. And you're welcome, man. I checked the show out last night. I mean, like shit, man. Just to be clear, like as men, period, especially men of color, men of melanin, all of us have got melanin in us. So there's a lot of stresses that we deal with on a daily basis. You know what I'm saying? A lot of stresses in relationships, a lot of stresses in personal life, work, you fucking name it. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of us don't have or refuse to talk to anybody about it or to engage with someone about it. You know what I mean? And it's important that you do find a homie, find a friend, find your fucking uncle, find your auntie, find somebody to talk to so that maybe the next time you're feeling really stressed out or depressed, that you don't make a fucked up decision. You know what I'm saying?
Or find somebody that also doesn't know you to talk to. I had never been to a therapist, but I ended up at the clinic for some other shit. And the lady was like, oh, you know, we got an on-site therapist here to just be talking to people. And within a few minutes, I was in the fucking room with that therapist. And I was kind of telling her my story real quick. And I looked at her and I said, do you think I fucking need therapy? And she was like, I don't think you need therapy. She's like, I think you could benefit from it.
Right.
And so it was a little bit easier, like talking to somebody that I didn't know. Cause y'all know, you talk to one of the homies or somebody shit like that, they just might tell you to man up. Or, you know what I'm saying? You know, motherfuckers go through this every day, B. You know, you heard that. So, you know, whoever it is you choose to talk to, whether it is a family member or just somebody else, like get that shit off your chest, man. Because I think that's why we're so quick to explode when the moments happen, because we're just fucking holding everything in until that one moment where dude steps on your fucking shoes. You know, how many of them liquor store videos have we seen, bro, all across the country where it's a couple dudes inside the liquor store and someone comes in and some 2 fucking words happen. And before you know it, dude got the gun out blowing his shit off. It's like, it's too quick, man. It's too reactive. It's too explosive. But, you know, I don't know. They talking about, you know, they talking about building up all this shit in Millennium Park instead of taking some of that money and investing it in them kids that's going to Millennium Park and fucking that shit up. They just thinking about building up Millennium Park instead of putting some funds or something or putting some kind of a fucking program in Millennium Park so 300 kids can come to that shit and be a little bit safe. But, you know, they got money for whatever the fuck they want. When we had the Puerto Rican parade here in Humboldt Park last year, you know, they ain't got enough cops and all this shit to you know, to be chasing around motherfuckers with guns. But I'll tell you what they do got. They got the resources to send over 100 tow trucks and hundreds of police officers to start ticketing cars and removing cars out of the Puerto Rican parade. Y'all got fucking money for that, but don't, you know, and I've said this on the news and Spanish news and English news, ABC, I'm always saying that shit. We got money for the other shit, but we don't got money for it to put a fucking program in the hood.
Well, this is where it starts, Jizzo. This is where it starts.
I feel like they want us to crash out, dog. Like you just said, literally almost in every major city is a liquor store type scenario. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
And make you think like, how deep is this shit, bro? This shit gets real deep because everybody is more emotional because of the fucking chemicals they got in this fucking food we eat on a daily basis. You get what I'm saying?
That part too.
These kids are getting fucking high off of shit that we didn't used to get high off of. And I'm not saying that, like, I'm not saying that we weren't killing people, weren't getting killed back then. But bro, you offer the perks and the oxys and the perk 30s and the scissor and the fucking, they offer every goddamn thing. I met somebody one night at the studio that was offered like 6 different things, bro. They were telling me, I took this pill and I'm smoking this, and like, Jesus Christ, what the fuck are y'all doing?
Right.
Hey, real quick, man. D, Jizzo, it was nice talking to you guys, man. We'll get in next Sunday. I got to bounce, you know, responsibilities. Hey, Detective, I love you. Already know, man.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
I really like this, man. I really like this. I think I'm about to check in next week on my phone or something.
That's what's up.
All right,
check in, brother. Check in with us.
Yeah.
Check in with us, brother. Check in.
Have a good one, man. Bless.
All right, man. Be safe.
I'm just saying, therapy changed my life, dog.
That's
I
what's
tell
up.
anybody that, bro. That's if us as man don't do nothing else before we hit that dirt, man, talk to a therapist. You dig, a qualified one. You got to find one that you're comfortable with. Because I went through 2 of them before I found the third motherfucker that gave me a whole different perspective just on life.
Right.
You
And
dig?
can we touch on what you're saying though? Can you like tell people in case they don't have maybe the funds, in case they don't have the funds to do what you did? Was there like an option that you were able to take that was more economical so you get those services?
Bro, I got the therapy that I'm sitting there talking to you about. I found that in rehabilitation from drugs. You dig what I'm saying? And they got something. I can't even think of the name of the whole procedure, but they put these 2 vibrating type metal balls in your hand, and they turn it on and they vibrate, and they ask you questions. You know what I'm saying? Get to trying to dig through your trauma and shit, your life. And bro, before you know it, that shit break you down like a fucking baby. Like you can't even control your emotions. You don't realize how much shit you hold it in
Yeah, that's what I was
until
about to
that
say.
shit comes shooting the fuck out and you can't even grab it. You can't even stop it.
Yeah.
You
That's
know
what
what
I
I'm
said.
saying?
That's what I said last week. I was talking to OT, and shout out to OT. He was supposed to chime in. He's got some issues going with his family or something, man. Shout out to him. Godspeed, man. But I was talking about I remember one day I was in my 20s and I'm walking down this alley and I was just fresh from fucking some bitch or something. I was happy as hell, a little drunk, you know what I'm saying? And out of nowhere, just like out of nowhere, I had this extreme fucking urge to like scream at the top of my lungs and fucking cry. And that shit to this day, I don't know what the fuck that was. It was scary as fuck. I was anxiety and shit. And I was walking, I mean, like I was literally walking back home to my, to my little crib and my little apartment was gonna, I had just had a great time. I was feeling good, everything, and just like was literally walking, like, yo, like probably rapping a song or singing something, and out of nowhere, just literally, my brain just went snap, and it was like I wanted to just like stop dead in my tracks. It was like what the fuck, and then had this uncontrollable urge. Now, I mean, I ain't talking about like just a tear. I'm talking about just like unbelievable. And to this day, that shit scares the fuck out of me. Like, because I don't know where that came from, whatever deep hidden shit or whatever in the fuck that still probably fucking bother me. Probably why I drank so much throughout all the fucking years. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, but it has to show itself at some point because I need that shit up out of me. You know what I mean? I need that shit up out of me. In order for me to move forward, in order for me to be a better person, I got to get that shit up out of me. And I would recommend any person, like my man said, to seek out, like both of you guys saying, seek out some help. You know what I mean? And let's break the stigmatism of people of color, people of melanin, not wanting to receive help, not wanting to get help, not wanting to look and talk to a therapist or anything like that, because that's big taboo shit. You know
Bro,
what I
we
mean?
too tough for our own good, man. Why we gotta be so tough?
You're right. You talking about me?
No,
Or what?
I'm not saying you. I'm saying us as a
Yeah.
people. Why we gotta
Because
be so tough? Why we gotta always have something to prove? Why don't we just prove shit to ourselves? Why don't we
we've
just
been,
goddamn it focus on the inside? Everything on the outside means nothing.
but
Because you attract that shit, bro. Let's be real. You
to
attract a
be
lot
the
of
devil's
energy.
advocate,
Without.
to be the devil's advocate, ain't that some pussy ass shit? Getting in
You
touch with your
did.
fucking feelings and shit. You know what I'm saying? Ain't that some pussy ass shit?
Let them tell it.
I'm just trying to be the devil's advocate because that is the thought process.
Well, that's why everybody crash out and they don't make it. They don't live to see, goddamn it, they fucking golden years. You did because they get a power away, man. We
Right.
have all the power in the world, like my man said. And I'm not worried about what the fuck you gonna do to me.
Right.
That means nothing to me. Because I'm never gonna be nobody's bitch on no day.
Right.
Yeah. And certain shit you gotta get checked in the door. Now you ain't gotta be crazy about it. It's a respect thing.
Right.
You did. It's just I don't play that bitch word. Period.
Right.
Now if you respect me, then that's how we're gonna play it. But if you don't, then whatever happens at that point. Because respect is
But
men.
isn't that a real drastic way of thinking though? You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, so if you know, like it's gonna be whatever is whatever. You know, isn't that a real drastic way of thinking?
I mean, for some people,
Yeah. Okay. I mean,
that comes back down to our own perspective.
right.
I don't put out disrespect, bro. So I refuse to accept it on any
Right.
given
I'm not saying
day.
you have to accept any type of disrespect. I'm just saying, like, to have such a strict, like, you know what I mean. So, like, okay, let's talk about the therapy for a second. The therapy hasn't taught you for a second, like, okay, you say crash out. To me, that sounds like, okay, so if it is what it is, then I'm just gonna fucking crash out.
One thing, okay, let me break down what I'm trying to tell you.
Okay.
How I handle confrontations, bro. If I could walk away, I'm gone. You're not even a
Right.
thought no more. Because it's a matter of a seconds of me or you having whatever words. It really means they don't hold no weight in my life because I'm
Right.
not gonna let you trick me out my position. So I
Right.
avoid confrontations. That's just
There you
me.
go. That's
You
all I was
dig?
saying. So that's why I said, because some people may hear what you said and just take it a certain way and be like, oh, I get it. I see what he's saying. And that's how I feel about shit. Fuck that. You know what I'm saying? But and so when I say being the devil's advocate, I was trying to get this to get the actual words out of you so that somebody could hear exactly what the fuck you was trying to say. You know, what you mean by what you said. You know what I mean? Because some people, we don't want, number one, we don't want to put that out there to anybody, like, you know, it is what it is. If we got beef, and I'm gonna fuck your ass up, it's gonna be me or you or whatever. But what you're saying is we're
I
gonna
forget
see.
we're on a
Yeah,
podcast.
you know,
We got to break that down all the way. Let's dissect that
yeah,
thing. I gotta
yeah,
get comfortable with that. The point I'm really trying to make is this, bro. Guns are meant for defense, bro. It's
right,
not meant for offense, bro.
right,
You
right,
did. You be a person that maintains you, worry about what the fuck you got going on, man, and not be mixed up in this not just straight goofy shit or dumb shit. You gonna make it, dog. Put that right
yeah, big
energy out
facts.
there, man. You did.
Yeah,
Just put that right energy, that right vibe out there, man. I
and
promise
that's
you're gonna attract that shit.
right. That's the big key. That's the big key right there.
No
You know.
doubt, fellas, man. I'm gonna have to cut out too, brother.
All right, man.
But it was
Appreciate you,
good
man, and
chopping up with
gratitude
you.
for tapping
Hey,
in.
hey, homie on the car, bro. Send me a request on Facebook, GIZZO, on Facebook, so we can link up.
GIZZO.
Yeah,
Back.
GIZZO. Yep, no
Better.
doubt. Hey, Heat, I'ma holler at you, bro. Let's talk. Well, I hit you a little bit later when I'm on the road. Much
All right, I
love to
got
you.
you, fam. Gratitude, man, for popping in. You know what we do, man. You are the co-host, man, and
You already,
Godspeed to OT. You know, man, whatever he's going
yeah,
through.
peace to OT. You already know. Follow me on Instagram, Jizzle for Shizzle, Facebook, Jizzle Villanueva, and follow All Shy City Cypher everywhere. Peace, y'all.
Yeah, my man's. So, yeah, man, it's a lot to decipher every fucking week. We trying to just stay on topics about things I think that are relevant to men, young men, and females too. Because they are not oblivious to this conversation. They are not a part of the conversation as well. So this goes out to the women as well, because we already know. Well, it's hard to tell with women sometimes, but we know that they have struggles. They have issues and problems with things as well. Sometimes they have problem with men. Sometimes they have problem with the job, their cousins, uncles, aunties. I don't know.
It's okay not to choose violence. It's okay.
Not having problems. You know what I'm saying? I say live, and I will show you that you are an absolute liar. You're an absolute liar, because it doesn't happen that way. Life is not built like that. You know what I'm saying? Some of us know how to deal with it, and some of us don't. And those of us that do know how to deal with it should be the helping hand for those that don't know how to deal with it. You know what I'm saying?
All we could do is show the way, man.
Yes, sir.
That's all we
What
can
they
do.
say, you can lead a horse to water, but you cannot make that motherfucker drink. You know what I'm saying? I can hand you the tools. I can hand you the tools, but you got to build that shit. You know what I'm saying? Anything
But
you want to say?
powerful. I get one last thing, bro.
Yeah. In closing, go ahead.
That's what made me actually chime in, because it's real shit, bro.
Yeah,
we can't keep giving our power away off of what people is saying, what's coming out of their mouth.
Right.
Everybody gonna always have an opinion. They're like assholes, bro. You can't stop that. But how you react to it,
yes, sir,
means everything.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's all I gotta say, brother.
Yeah, man. And I'm gonna end it too like this, man. I said it to somebody before and they got offended, but it's because they were sitting there and we were doing something. And I told them, I said, I'm the captain of my own ship, and it would behoove me to allow anybody to grab the steering wheel of my motherfucking ship. He got offended. He said, what do you mean? Ain't nobody trying to do anything. I'm not talking about that. I'm saying I am the captain of my ship. You know what I'm saying? And it would be fucked up for me to let anybody grab the wheel. I will not let anybody grab the wheel of my ship. My life is my ship. Nobody's grabbing the wheel of my motherfucking ship. You know what I'm saying? Nobody should grab the wheel of your ship. You're the captain of your own motherfucking life. You know what I'm saying? And they saying this ain't tough love. None, I say this kind of shit all the time because that's the only way sometimes motherfuckers need to understand it, or can understand it, I should say. And maybe if I said it a different way, they might not get it. Be like, oh, this soft ass shit this motherfucker's saying. So sometimes you need to hear it a gruff and rough. You know what I mean? But the fact of the matter is, you cannot let nobody, like my man said, can't let nobody get you out of your square. Take your power. This is my shit.
I'm not letting nobody trick me out of my position no more.
This is my ship.
Too many years with that shit, man.
Yeah. This is my ship. Yeah. I'm steering this motherfucker the way I want to steer it. With that being said, this has been the check-in, man. Check us out every Sunday at 7:30. Don't be afraid, man. We here. We in the building, and we here to listen. We here to give feedback. We got motherfuckers that be on the show that come from all different perspectives. Everybody looks at things different. If you checked into the show earlier today, you would have heard a whole lot of shit about what a motherfucker can make you and who's in charge of your own behaviors and shit like that. And yo, this is real shit because somebody needs to hear it. Shit, somebody on the show that was in on the show today might have needed to hear some of this shit. You know what I mean? It is what it is. But that's why we are here every Sunday at 8:30. Man, go to www.youtube.com/@unwrap. That's where you can find the check-in and other shows. But the check-in, we do this every Sunday at 8:30, man. And if you're having problems, you just need somebody to talk to. If you just need to listen, or you don't even have to show your face on camera, you can just chime in and we got you, man. Until then, blessings to everybody, gratitude, and we are completely out this bitch, man. Peace. Next Sunday.